Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we are going to first take a look at the universal cycle for September 2022, and then we're going to break it down into each individual life path and take a look at those individual forecasts. This, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Also want to mention that coaching sessions for numerology, coaching with numerology, are now available again via Zoom. So I had to take them down for a little bit for personal reasons, but they are back. So if you wanted to meet face-to-face to have those coaching sessions, they're available again. I have some spots left in September, so get them while they're hot. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at September's energy, what we're working with the numerology, and how best to use that to our advantage, right? Okay, so the universal cycle for September is a 15-6 energy. So collectively, the energy of September can bring about welcomed personal freedoms, as well as larger scale freedoms, like on a global scale. However, keep in mind, the lifting of restrictions or opportunities for great progress often requires some kind of radical change after a more chaotic culmination. So the more radical change allows for a shift or a release from present limitations, allowing for much freer expression and more room to move and breathe. So no one's saying that this is necessarily going to be easy, but what it's allowing for is worth moving through it. So this can be a cycle where experiences sort of assist us in moving away from very rigid, long-held beliefs, and new beliefs can then come in, right, and bring more peace while sort of eradicating old fears. So think of September as the liberator. It's bringing this very liberating energy with it. Now, of course, as I always say, the energy can be present, but it's always what we do with it that's going to make the difference. Like if we put in the effort, if we show up, if we try to work with this energy, we're going to see the greatest rewards. If we fight it, if we try to move away from it, we're still going to get to the other side of it. But it's not going to be as comfortable, and we're just not going to sort of reap what we want. We're going to reap what we sow, right? So this can be a period when we have to be very, very decisive and make very important decisions while deciding whether those choices are self-limiting or setting us free. So overly attaching or clinging to people, things that sort of put us in a space of servitude or obligation, that can create burnout and resentment. So be very mindful about what contracts or what agreements that you choose to enter into during this cycle. If it feels good and liberating, great, go for it. You have the green light, and you probably won't have buyer's remorse. But if it feels restrictive, if it feels burdensome, or you have concerns, maybe try and wait until after this energy sort of passes. So maybe wait until the next month, if you can, right? Until you feel better about it, or again, until you have more information, if you can do that. Of course, we have to live life. We don't base it on the numerology or astrology or psychic predictions or whatever. We have to do what feels right for us in the moment. So just take this as guidance and do with it what you want. I'd also say with this energy, there's a big focus on not judging a book by its cover, especially this month. Outward appearances when it comes to a situation, especially around close relationships and or home life, can sort of cause unnecessary heartaches, trouble in partnerships, or knee-jerk reactions that carry heavy repercussions. So try to dig a bit deeper beyond the illusion to better understand the situation more holistically. Communication is golden, period. Inner realities are more trustworthy than outward appearances. But the more that you can communicate, the more that you're open to communication, the more that you can work through more quickly and just move on. And it may be that the other person is not willing to communicate. That's okay. If you tried, that's all you need to do. But in every situation, communication and real true communication where both parties are able to speak their truth and be heard, whether or not you agree with each other, but just that opportunity for that respect of conversation, just can clear up so much and alleviate so much drama. So I would say, word to the wise, especially in September, if you have an opportunity to open a line of communication, I would say do it. But again, the catchphrase for September, I think, is inner realities are more trustworthy than outward appearances. So really trust your gut, dig deeper, go with how you feel, take your time if you can, and just take your time. Throughout September especially, try to find the lighter side to a situation if you can. Even when we're going through the most difficult of challenges, laughter or even just a smile can change that energy of the moment and lift spirits. Laughter truly is the best medicine, not to sound cliche, but it truly is. And where there's laughter, there's always light. So maybe watch funny movies, spend time with children or playful animals, or surround yourself with people who can just always seem to make you laugh or giggle. We underestimate, I think, the true power and the true energy of laughter, but it is more priceless than any materialistic item on the planet. And we always have access to it. That's the thing. It's just we have to be willing to try to tap into it. When we can find our own ways of sort of looking beyond the limitations of circumstances, we bring about peace and satisfying solutions to that situation. So laughter cleanses the soul and can lead to physical healing. Laughter is a form of freedom. I'm going to say it again because I truly do believe it. Laughter is a form of freedom. So that's your forecast for September for the collective with the universal energies. Let's go ahead and take a look at the numerology and the energies for each individual life path number. Life path number 2. So I pulled an animal spirit message for you all for September, and you got cat energy. So with cat energy coming in, there's definitely something here around independence, landing on your feet, confidence, something definitely here around potentially setting boundaries. So, cats get a bad rap because they sort of love us on their terms, but it's still an unconditional type of love. It's just they have healthy boundaries in place, right? And so there's definitely something coming through here for 2s around, you can love somebody and be loved unconditionally, but you can also have healthy boundaries and have those conversations. I mean, a cat is not going to apologize for being who it is, right? There's a lot of confidence when it comes to cat energy. So there's definitely something here around tapping into your inner confidence, to setting healthy boundaries, for knowing your worth. Again, for trusting that you're going to land on your feet with whatever decisions that you make, no matter what you have to do to figure that out. You will find a way. There's also something here with cat energy about primal instincts. So following your intuition, getting down to the root of something, again, sort of like we talked about in the intro, as far as not judging the book by the cover, but digging deeper and trusting your inner knowing, right? Trusting the energy of the situation over maybe the actions of the situation. Because 2s are very intuitive. You all are highly, highly sensitive. And part of the journey is getting sort of having control over that sensitivity, not getting rid of it, but controlling it to where you're not reactive, but you're more responsive, and you can work with the energy, right? That's one of the things with twos is like you're so sensitive that you tend to feel everybody's energy, and in doing so, you can sometimes not be able to decipher what is yours and what is somebody else's, and so that can be really overwhelming. And so anyway, but that's a journey, right? But anyway, with cat energy, there's definitely something here about those primal instincts and really following your intuition and your inner knowing. Okay. So for September, you all are actually working with 8 energy, which is very empowering energy. It's very, very physical. It's very like in your body. It's creating very tangible things. It has the potential to bring about a tremendous amount of success in many areas in life. We, of course, have to put in the effort, but it also sort of lights the fire for our ambition, gives us motivation. This can be, if you want it to be, a highly, highly productive time. So this is a cycle of responsibilities potentially increasing. Focus on money and or career and business could be highlighted now. If you're planning a business venture, this is a beautiful time to launch it, to network, to sort of get it going, maybe to see somebody about like funding it. To get it off the ground, to support it, to invest in it. That's all very, very supported now. You may see a raise or promotion at work, which will, of course, or you could see like an influx of clients if you own your own business. That can, of course, lead to an increase in responsibility. So they kind of go hand in hand, right? And so just pay attention to like your work-life balance and just make sure that you're keeping that balanced as well with these new responsibilities and you're finding ways to manage that. Let's see. So those in power actually are more apt to assist you at this time, but you have to ask, right? So that comes back to being very discerning and decisive and making sure that you're like not being overly influenced by others. But if you want something, go after it. Even if everybody's like, I can't believe you're going to ask that person for that because who do you think you are? Ask that person for it. This is a great time to ask people with more expertise or someone with perceived more power, right, or influence for assistance at this time. You may also, this is a time for potentially receiving some kind of inheritance or a legacy of some kind. And then with that inheritance, of course, may come added responsibility in how to best manage that newfound resource. This can also be a highly karmic cycle where, again, you reap what you sow. So be sure that there is good intention and integrity behind anything that you put out into the world at this time that has your name behind it, right? Your name and your energy. Whether you believe in karma or not, there's definitely something to be said about, what we put out into the world. A piece of our energy sort of goes with it, right? Like a piece of us goes with it, especially if our name is attached to it. And especially in numerology, this is, we really believe this, like it's, everything is energy. And so, and then certain things hold certain vibrations. And so just be sure that, if there's like ill intent or violence or malice or vengefulness behind your actions, chances are you're going to see that sort of boomerang back towards you in a pretty big way to deal with that, right? To move through it, to heal it, to clear that up. So it's best to just from the get-go, just make sure that there's good intentions and there's integrity behind whatever it is that you put out into the world, especially in September, because it's sort of heightened with this 8 energy. Just make sure that your intentions are good, right? Because otherwise you will have to deal with whatever you put out there. You will see it resurface. There's a very good chance of that. It might look a little bit different than how you sent it out, but you will have to deal with that. So I hope it's a beautiful September for you all. Take care. Bye for now.